You get what you are, not what you want. Or rather, you get what you practice. I'm Dr. Morgana McCabe Allan, co-founder of the Manifesting Institute, and my research is on how our reality is created and co-created through the relationships that we have with everything that we engage with in the world: people, places, thoughts, ideas, beliefs, social constructs, non-corporeal entities, animals, you name it. And I am really interested in helping you understand today the importance of practice. So an art teacher split his class into two groups. Group A would be graded entirely on quantity. That was the experiment. They had to make like 50 pounds worth of pots, and it didn't matter how terrible they were, they just had to do that pottery, make a big giant old heap of it, and that's what they would get graded on, the weight. But Group B had to be graded on quality. They had to make one perfect pot, and it had to be a work of art, and then they could get an A. And so what the teacher found at the end of the term, when he looked at what the students had created, was that the people who were being graded on quantity had actually created beautiful pottery. The people who were being graded on quality, the ones who had been tasked with only making one pot, their pottery was nowhere near as good. Now, this tells us a whole lot of interesting things. One of them is about how we actually think and do and be. So the group that were just creating on quantity, so they were just keep it on going, make another one, they were practicing all the way through to the end. You know, they would start at the beginning and get to the end because it didn't matter how bad it was. It was a true practice. They also, because they weren't being judged on it being perfect, could be really experimental and try new things. They could test stuff out and just see what happened. They could be playful, they could enjoy it, they could relax. The people that were being graded on quality had to have these discussions and thoughts. Well, what is quality? What is perfect? What does that really mean? What other examples can I look at of perfect? How do you suppose they did that? They were thinking, talking, researching, but they were not actually taking action. They weren't bringing it into the body, and they weren't creating change. Now, at the end of this experiment, the people who were being graded on quality hadn't changed what they were. They had been essentially procrastinating and caught up in perfectionism. They were still exactly what they were before, who they were before. They hadn't shifted their identity or the quality of their work. The people in the other group, the people being graded on quantity, they had actually created a lot of movement. They had really shifted in their identity. They were moving into being craftsmen. They had actually increased their skills significantly, and with that, their confidence. And so there's two very different processes here in terms of we get what we are, not what we want. The people that were practicing over and over and over again got what they were. They got the grade of somebody who was a potter. They produced the work of somebody who was a potter because they were consistently being that every day. The group who were fixating on perfect and wondering what perfect was and not actually taking action and not actually creating a skill got what they were too, which was students who were still learning and hadn't really moved the needle. And so this is something for us to remember in our lives too. There was a time when I realized that I had been caught in this trap. I had aspirations of creating something really incredible and powerful in the world, but I was actually doing the dishes, doing the laundry, cleaning the floors, doing every single thing but the work that I was here to do. And as a result, I was becoming very, very good at doing the dishes and cleaning the floors. I had my housework routine down to an absolute T. It was utter perfection. I could do all of that in my sleep, but I still wasn't actually doing any of the things that I truly desired and wanted in my life, which meant that they weren't manifesting. Just wishing for what you want will not bring it to you any more than wishing to create the perfect pot but not practicing did for those students. It's taking the action, it's developing the practices that shift your identity, which actually shift your reality, because identity and reality are co-created. I really hope that this helps you to shift your way of being around about perfectionism and procrastination, because when you are in aligned action and you're moving forward, even if the steps feel very small, it adds up very quickly, just like that 50 pounds worth of crappy pottery turned into skill and craft and a new identity. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye.